Okay.
Excellent. Welcome back for episode number what? What number are we at now? Number 7? Episode 7 of the Newark Business Hub Let's Grow Power Hour, where we talk about what it takes to have power in your business, to have power in your speech, to have power in your walk as an entrepreneur. And this show is presented to you twice monthly by the Newark Business Hub at Rutgers Business School. And my name is Kimberlee Williams, and I will be your co-host today. I am the CEO of FEMWORKS Communications and Community Engagement, and I'm very proud to be co-hosting with my friend and business partner, Tamara Fleming.
Hey, guys.
And we have some really special guests for you today. Tamara?
Yes. I thought you were going to go through that long list of everything, like where you are, where you're broadcasting from, and all this really awesome things, the projects that you're part of. But yes, I echo that. I'm so honored to be alongside you and co-hosting this really amazing Blab on amazing topics such as social media. My name is Tamara Fleming. I'm co-founder of FEMWORKS, which is a multicultural marketing communications agency based in the East Coast, although we were just in the West Coast doing some things as well too. And also a portrait and lifestyle photographer, and right now really excited about being a fellow within the Newark Business Hub.
Excellent. So your co-hosts today are subject matter experts, but we're also friends and advocates of small business owners. We're entrepreneurs in residence with the Newark Business Hub, and we're proud of our guest today because this is really one big Newark Business Hub family that's on this Blab today. So I want to introduce, right? Okay. So I want to introduce our guests who are instrumental in the Newark Business Hub. I'm going to start with Tonie McClammy. She is definitely an entrepreneur in her own right, and she's also the social media guru behind the Newark Business Hub. And I also like to introduce Diana Zapata of Full Force PR, where she's a dynamic duo with her business partner, Kimberlee Reed, but she's also a fellow in the Newark Business Hub. So you get it. We're all Newark Business Hub people, but we have a similar expertise, and that expertise is in helping our clients to tell their best story and tell it in media, whether that media is digital marketing, which Diana's going to talk about, or it's social media, or it's personal branding, like Tamara would talk about, or social media, like Michele would talk about. So what we're going to do is take a moment to introduce ourselves so that you have a greater understanding of exactly what our personal passion is in marketing and communications and social media, so that we are going to answer your questions today. So we're going to start out by giving you an understanding of who we are and what we're passionate about, so your questions can be directed to any one of us. So, Diana, I would really love for you to go first and introduce, take your time, introduce what work you do, what Full Force PR is really passionate about, and what you do best. And so that way our listeners know exactly what kind of questions you would be able to answer them.
Sure. So my name is Diana, and I'm co-founder of Full Force PR along with Kimberlee Reed, who wasn't here. But we started off in fashion PR in New York City. I worked at a bunch of startups in fashion, and Kimberlee was over at Marchesa and Hermes. We decided that we wanted to work with emerging designers because there was a lack of representation. A lot of them complained about the fact that PR was really expensive. They couldn't, they couldn't afford it. There was no budget, but it was really necessary for them to have PR. They just couldn't afford it. So what we did, we decided that, well, we love these brands that are emerging and we believe in them. Why not work with them and provide a scalable budget for them to be able to work with us? So we started doing that, but, a year in, we decided that it wasn't only, focusing on PR, but we needed to help them on their sales end. We also needed to help them with digitally. So we started our creative end of it. So we started working on projects. I mean, influencers are really, really important nowadays. So what we decided to do is to partner them up with influencers, many of them who charge thousands of dollars, but we decided to partner each brand with an individual influencer that would make sense. But the way we would do it is obviously they didn't have $15,000 to, pay for a post. So how we went about it was starting off with projects that would make sense. Sorry, guys, that's my doggies.
It's all good.
That would make sense for the brand and for the creative. They're both looking for content, and how can we create storylines that would make sense for both, and they would be able to do it without any cost. So thus far, it has been a great way of us working together and getting the brands out. At the end of the day, they don't just want content. They just don't want PR. You want to make money. So, the bottom line of it is you want to create an ROI where if I'm creating a digital campaign, what is the end component to it? Who is going to be looking at this and saying, oh, okay, I either want to invest in this brand, whatever it may be, or if they're looking to get into stores, who is the audience, who is your target goal that is going to be watching in whatever space you launch it, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, wherever it is, your audience needs to be there, and the audience that you're looking to invest in you. So we created that, and it's been wonderful. We've been able to create amazing things and work with amazing people. And our thing is about working with emerging, you really don't have huge budgets, so you really have to think out of the box.
Yeah. So, I mean, when you say that, it sounds like you create a lot of value for your clients. So, when a client is trying to vet you and figure out if you're the right person to help them, what is it that you feel like you do just simply better than other people?
I think tell their story.
Mm-hmm.
And tell their story to the right audience that they're looking for. That, like I said, that they want them to see like, hey, I'm here. And either you can buy, you can invest in me, or there's interest in there for you to start something, to open that relationship up. So for us, like I said, it's been really crucial to partner influencers who have 1 million followers, who have all these followers, but that fit individually with each brand. We're moving forward, working with a new startup. It's a beauty app that is going to be working. They just signed contracts with the W worldwide, and it's this young girl who decided there was a niche market for beauty, and she wants to tell her story, but she doesn't want to tell her story the old traditional way. You no longer need press releases, to be really honest with you. That is kind of out. It's outdated. What they want to do is their main thing is, how can we partner with influencers who are going to mention us on Instagram, who are going to mention us like, oh, we're here at the W Hotel getting our makeup done by Nomi Beauty. That's the things that they want, the mentions, because they know what kind of power that has. So they see their competitors and they want to find ways to do it better than they're doing, especially if they're hitting a market that they know is very niche.
Okay.
Right. Diana, I just wanted to to bring up something that you said when you talked about storytelling and really being able to pull out a distinction from your client that can separate them from who their competitors are. That's a true gift. Actually, it's a lot of what I'm just bringing back into my radar in the art of storytelling, because there's so many wonderful ways in which you can find a story and then kind of chop it up so that that story actually feeds your audience. It kind of gives them a grounding for who you are as an individual, and it makes them fall in love with you all over again. Or if they're just learning about you, you grab them in by that story that you're telling. I love the fact that you and your business partner created this vehicle for getting information out and being able to send the content out that you do. And I'm kind of curious as to with you and your business partner, what's your main vehicle of choice out of all of the social media areas and ways that you can send out your content? What is one of the main social media vehicles that you guys use?
Well, right now our main tool is Instagram, but growing has been Snapchat, because you basically can create these videos and tell the story. So we were shooting this weekend with a really big influencer, and people want to know the behind the scenes of how does that photo shoot. It looks great and amazing once you put it up, but how did it come together? So many components, and there's so many people that have their hands in it, and people want to learn that side where it's a little bit more deconstructed. When a brand gives that, whether you're an artist, whether you're a brand, whatever you may be, and you give that behind the scenes look, people kind of feel like, oh, wow, look at them, they're wherever position. Maybe you're a starting brand, maybe you're already established, but a lot of the brands are noticing that. That's why Burberry is giving the behind the scenes of what happens when they create a show. They're using Snapchat as that vehicle, and also giving yourself a voice. You have video, and then you have images that don't necessarily have to be. After a day, they're going to be gone, but you're able to share that with your audience, and they're able to see kind of the BTS and how things get done in your business. And I think that has been a tool where we're really trying to utilize it and trying to figure out exactly how we can hone in with and also how can the audience that is watching people on their Instagram, how can they come now to the Snapchat and watch them through Snapchat? Because I think it's been hard for some brands to translate their following from Instagram over to Snapchat. So figuring that way out has been, there's brands that do it very well, but there's still the younger brands that don't really know how to use it, but it's so powerful and it's so useful. But our main tool is Instagram, and launching campaigns through that because it's so visual, and what we do is so visual, whether it's video and now that Instagram has 1 minute video, it has made things even better because you don't have to just put a 15-second snippet. You can actually put a full-blown campaign that's a minute long. It's longer than an advertisement, if you bought TV time, and
right.
It's great.
So I just wanted to reiterate that for those of you that are just joining us now, what you're listening to is the Let's Grow Power Hour, hosted by the Newark Business Hub. And we were just hearing some really great insights shared by Diana Zapata of Full Force PR on digital marketing. My name is Kimberlee Williams, and I'm your co-host and the CEO of FEMWORKS and entrepreneur in residence at the Newark Business Hub. And we're all hubbers on this chat today. And my co-host is the lovely Tamara Fleming. And Tamara, I'm actually,
No, no, you were going to say something. So I was just saying that I am Tamara Fleming, and yes,
I would love for you to introduce yourself and what you bring to this social media conversation.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So, like we said a little earlier, my name is Tamara Fleming. I am co-founder of FEMWORKS, a marketing communications agency based here within the Newark and New Jersey area. And one of the specialties that I bring to the table is definitely the visual branding component, that visual communications, narrowing it down to my point of uncovering our clients' visual brand. So really specializing in portraits and lifestyles. When you're talking about social media development and marketing, there's a whole hodgepodge of content that starts with video. It also starts with photos, and you have your vector-based graphics. And so all of those kind of things really helping our clients tell that story so that you keep the attention of your audience. You know, no one wants to just read a little bit about what Diana said, is just as much as the press releases have kind of gone into the archaic age somewhat, so has actually just reading words. Like, people really connect with visuals and images these days. So you increase your visibility, your interest in your post when you complement it with the messages, is complemented with your photos. And for what I do, my clients, is really giving them an opportunity to develop a strong brand. So that brand, you know, what we know of more commonly is that logo identifier that says, hey, that's this organization, or that's another organization. What I really like to do is work with my clients and identifying them as their own personal walking billboard, which is their photos. And really pulling out of them what that image looks like that complements them when they're on their web page, on all of their social media platforms, and really pushing forward. People like to work with people they see, people they love and connect with. So I drive home, bring home a very strong, powerful image for my clients.
So that's our visual branding prowess here on this Blab. And certainly last but not least, well, you know, I have to give you a little taste of what I do too. So I guess I'll be last but not least. But we have Antonia McClammy, the CEO of ISMM Social Media Management, as well as a lot of other hats that you wear, including television producing as well in Houston, Texas. So we have a whole national Blab happening right now. So why don't you share with us what it is, your secret sauce is? What do you bring to the social media conversation?
Well, my secret sauce is you got to be creative. You got to change it up. Don't be repetitive and keep using the same old thing and think you're going to get the best results. I like to shake it up. If I do it one way on Monday, it got to be another way on Wednesday. And Saturday, it has to be another way. I think when people market and follow social media as far as putting their message out, they just do it. Some people are lazy. They don't like doing it in one aspect, but they know it has to be done because this is how you get your brand out. This is how you get that voice for your business. So they get lazy because it's work. That's why a lot of social media managers have great jobs and they're making good salaries, because it's a hard job to be consistent with letting people know who you are and what you're doing. You have to, like, I could chime in from Tamara and with Diana when they were talking about visuals. Our market now is visuals. I had studied somewhat about Snapchat as well. And Snapchat is a great resource, one of them. But we got to mention YouTube. A lot of people are loving YouTube, doing those little 30-second videos, 1-minute videos, because you have over 5 million followers that stay on YouTube, as well as Instagram.
Wow.
So there's a lot of uh, tools that you can use to get your message out where you don't have to keep doing the same old thing. Who would want to just eat fish and potatoes all week? You want some chicken, you want some steak, you want some lobster. You want to shake it up. So why cheat yourself? Treat yourself.
Exactly. And so, what I bring to this conversation, I feel like I'm that person that helps bring all of these aspects together. So I help clients to really figure out what their voice is, and then put together a plan for how to bring that voice to life. And whether that plan includes some social media, it could include some mobile marketing, it could include some outdoor advertising, it could include personal branding. So you need a new portrait, or you need product photos, or whatever the case may be. I help to bring your message to life in a way that's multifaceted, and in a way that rolls out a launch to a campaign that supports your product, or that supports your message, or that supports your cause. And part of that is, definitely knowing who your market is. Because if your clients are the type of clients that go to the movies on Saturday nights pretty regularly, then part of the solution that I'm going to suggest to you is advertising in movie theaters, so that before the featured presentation starts, maybe your commercial plays. So I'm that kind of strategist that helps you to figure out what media is best for you. Maybe, I know, like today we talked about, press releases are dead, but I want to say maybe they're not for the type of client that you have, right? So I'm the type of person that can help you figure out where your audience lives and decide what tool you need to use in order to reach that audience, right? Because maybe LinkedIn is for you, or maybe, using Business Wire and doing a press release is for you, or, maybe Snapchat is where you need to be, but you have to start out with knowing who your audience is and getting to what your authentic voice is, how your brand speaks to the world. And then I help to put together the team that will deliver your message to your target audience so that you can have the ROI that you want. I mean, that's what Diana talked about is, it's not just being out there so that people can say, oh, wow, girl, I saw you on Facebook. That was a cute picture you put on Instagram. But no, we're trying to convert impressions, which is eyeballs, the number of eyeballs that see you. We're trying to convert that into money, right? That is the end game that we're talking about, right, ladies? We're talking about getting you sold, getting someone to sign a contract with you, getting someone to buy your book, getting someone to download your PDF. Social media should help people to take action on your behalf, right? That's what it should do. So, but how do you do that? We have some folks, we're all professional consultants. So a lot of times people decide to hire us to help them. But what if you're doing it on your own? I'm sure that some of you out there are doing it on your own and may need some structure, may need some advice, may need to know how to take that first step, how to even think about this in a way that's strategic. And if you do have questions like that, I want you to make sure that you share them in our chat box, because we're here today to answer your questions. No question is too small. The only stupid question is the question that is not asked, right? We all agree to that. There's no stupid questions today. There's no question that's too small. We are here to help you figure it out, how to take that next step. And we're going to tell you that all of these steps that we're going to advise you to take, they should all lead to ROI, a return on your investment of time, right? So what are your questions? I want to look at the chat box right now and see if anyone has questions about social media marketing. I mean, the basics. What is social media marketing? Is there a difference between marketing myself and marketing my business? What's the difference between Snapchat and Periscope and Blab? I'm just giving you guys some example questions. But what we can do while everyone gets their question together, you know, I would love to talk about this phenomenon that people, it seems like it's pie in the sky, but it's totally possible. Going viral, right? How can my business, how can my brand go viral? Michele, I want to go viral. What would you tell me to do?
Well, I'm going to say, Kim, I'm going to say, what graphics do you have for your business? What is your message saying on that graphic? Is it telling a story? Is it exciting? Is it making me want to be a part of your brand and help share and be a brand advocate for you? And those are questions I'm going to ask. Or I might look at your image and direct you in another direction because I'm not seeing that in that graphic. And I'm going to say, Kim, I'm sorry, your business is not going to go viral with this tool that you're using. Or I might suggest, hey, why don't you do a newsletter? You can put everything all in one. You could do your videos. You can have your message in text. You can have your album with pictures in it. You can tell your story and share other articles. Now that might help you go viral.
What would you say, Diana, if I came to you and said, girl, I have a blank check right now and I'm willing to write whatever number you tell me if you can help me go viral? What would you tell me?
I think it goes back to what I said. Depending on who you are, whether you're a brand, a person, you know, we would take a look at that. And then I think that you want to capture people's emotions, whether that's through something that's humor, whether that's something that touches people's heartstrings, and you know, you want to, you know, really pull on them. When you really look at a lot of the videos that have gone viral, there are a lot of them. Like, I mean, there's some that I love, especially for Mother's Day. There's like the Dove one. You know, they have little kids, and they all are blindfolded, and they're trying to get them to touch. There's like different women, and they're all touching the women, and they're trying to see if they can identify their mothers without looking. So a video like that has, because it touches you, and you honestly 2 minutes, I watched it and I'm like about to cry because it's like, this is why they went viral. You know, there's the one for Under Armour with Misty Copeland. It's a small girl basically telling the story of Misty Copeland and how she had so many no's, how her body wasn't right, and this and that. And real people are like, oh, wow, not because you want to be a ballerina, but because maybe in your life, you're going through something where people are saying no, no, no. But then at the end, it's like, look at this ballerina. And then you're like, oh, wow, I kind of, I can connect with that. So I think it's about connecting to the audience that you want. And like I said, whether it's something humorous or something where you're trying to, have people really, it's a heartfelt thing. I think those are the two biggest ones that really go viral. So you really have to take a look at that and what you want. But yeah, those are just some examples of the ones I could think off the top of my head of video-wise. But a lot of the content that does go viral is a lot of the videos. And then picture-wise, again, it's the art of telling a video. Actually, there's a video, picture that just went viral about, I don't know if you guys heard of the brand called Off-White. It's Kanye West's friend. He does Off-White, and the picture is Ian Carter, and he looks like he's a slave, and there's a white girl, and it's a brand, it's a fashion brand. So now it's viral because of this. You know, the designer is African American, and he's portraying like the kid is a slave for fashion. Now, people either love it or people hate it. Now, that's the controversy that he wants to create, and that's why he wanted to make it like that. You know, you push the buttons because you want people to react a certain way. So you create that imagery for a reason. You want people to talk about it.
So it sounds like, you know, almost there's no bad press in that sense. Whether you hate it, you're talking about it. Whether you love it, you're talking about it. But either way, you're talking about it.
Exactly.
Hey guys, can you hear me? Because I've gotten a couple of comments that my audio is pretty bad. That's still the case?
It kind of fades in and out a little bit as you're speaking. Each word is not all the way heard.
Okay.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Okay. I was just going to piggyback on and tell me if I need to stop too, because I don't want this to be a part of that's distracting. But in that whole part of going viral, I think it's very important for people to know that there is a strategy for it, and knowing your audience, the right images, and also getting people to share the information so that it gets into the people's eyes that need to really see it. Those are some of the components of really helping to drive forward a really powerful viral campaign. I've seen it done very successfully. We've seen that, something that was very organic, because we all remember the woman that was interviewed on a news station, and after a while, her ain't nobody got time for that went viral, and she's been in news television stations, and she's been in movies doing cameos and different things like that. So it does have an opportunity to shape your life and really change your brand. And then there's also those times where people try too hard and try to take something and make it viral because they're not coming from the heart. And like Diana said, a lot of this is about connecting to people, connecting to your audience, and that emotional way too. So yeah, I just wanted to bring to the table that you can try too hard and miss your mark, or you can be very authentic by knowing who your audience is and making something just organically happen, take it to the next level.
Absolutely.
Well, you know what I wanted to add in about another thing that I was thinking of as far as, you know, being viral. I mean, I don't really want to talk about politics, but we have to look at, you know, how our political campaigns are being ran and what is going viral. We know everything about Trump with his hair is viral. So, I mean, it's a matter of what your creativity is that you want to make go viral. I mean, we've seen a donkey with hair on it. And I mean, that thing went bananas. Everybody's loving this. So, I mean, as far as the viral, you have to shake it up. You figure if you're riding in the car, don't do anything dangerous as far as being a daredevil. But, you know, that's something that's exciting. You can be talking about racing as a brander, and I'm getting my message out very quickly, expeditiously. And guess what? That can go viral because that's different. What do you mean expeditiously? But you're trying to make it fast. You're trying to make it exciting. So you're trying to think of the next best thing that can go viral. And if we tie all our thoughts together, it's about creativity. It's like there's no stopping you in how creative you can be. You can, you know, excuse what I'm going to say, but you can be in the bathroom and that can go viral, you know. So there's just the craziest things, you know, that you can do if you just think outside of the box and just go for it. Don't be lazy in your thoughts and just make things happen.
And just to hop on what you were saying, Antonia, I think that there's a difference between a brand wanting to go viral versus a person just accidentally going viral. Like, I think that a lot of times, especially nowadays that we have social media, you know, there's parodies made of everything, you know, whether you have Birdman, you know, his whole, you know, situation on the radio station, and that went completely viral. And now he has a whole line of respect coming out, you know. So, you know, from that to Bernie the bird flying on Bernie's podium, now that became a whole entire, like, people are selling the t-shirts with Bernie and the bird. So there's like a difference between, you know, organically happening, accidentally happening, and actually you wanting to go viral. When someone comes to you and says, hey, listen, I want to go viral, and there's a whole strategic planning behind it. So I think accidental could really happen. A lot of times it happens to people who are known in the media. And I think that when you, as a singer or an artist, sometimes you just go viral because someone tapped on your YouTube video, they liked it. I mean, that's how it happened for Justin Bieber. You know, he was just putting on his songs on YouTube, and people just kept looking at it. Who is this little boy? Until, you know, his manager saw and was like, hey, maybe Usher could hop on this. And that's how he became who he is. So I think there's a difference when you want to, accidental, and then, you know, it just happens. So.
Well, you know, I agree with that also, Diana. I mean, the thing is, to get someone to buy your products, guess what? You got to put it in their face a couple of times. They're not going to buy it just because you showed it to them one time or maybe 2 times. It might take 5 times for them to say, hey, I must have this product. They have been consistent. It looks good. I got to have it. And that's the thing you have to do when you're trying to brand anything. You got to make that consumer think and know why they got to have your product. If you don't do that, guess what? You're just posting aimlessly because nobody's interested. They're like, I don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
What occurs to me about what both of you, or actually what all of you are saying, is that there's the random, you just blew up, right? So it's like buying the lottery ticket. All you needed to buy was that one and you just won. You know, it just happened. But then there's the plan to win, right? And in business, that's more so what we're looking for. We're looking for that plan to win. And so if I'm an entrepreneur and I want to master my social media, I think we all would agree that it starts with a plan, you know, and let's go through the mindset. Let's put ourselves in that mindset that we are beginning to sit down and create a plan. I hear you. I need to be creative. I hear you that I need to connect with influencers. I hear you that I need to think about my personal brand and branding. So let's put ourselves in that seat for a moment where we are that entrepreneur and I'm sitting down at my desk. What are some questions that I need to be asking myself so that once I go through these questions, I will have at least the beginnings of a plan, right? I'm going to give out the first question. What's special about me? What is it that I'm bringing to the table that's unique? What is special about me? Me being the product that I sell, if it's a product, or me being my business, we provide a particular service, or me being I'm a nonprofit and we make this sort of difference in the world. But what is special about me, I think, would be an important question to get a hold of so that you can, it's the beginning of your story, thinking about who I am and why people would want to work with me. And a technique that I just learned, because I just came back from San Diego, California, honey, and honey, I am so charged up after the Lisa Nichols Speak and Write 2016 conference that one of the things that I learned there, and I want to share with you, is to focus on the result. So what I bring is this pie in the sky result that my clients experience, right? Not, hey, I do social media. Okay, you and about 5 million other people do social media. But as a result of working with you, what do your clients experience? Now that's what I'm buying into. And so I'm going to offer that up. What is special about you? That's a question to sit down and think about as you're making your plan, because we don't want to buy the lottery ticket. We want to have a plan that's going to lead us to the outcome that we're looking for. So what other questions would you guys offer if someone were sitting down to make a plan? What questions should they ask themselves?
Well, if I could chime in, I would want to know, what are your competitors doing? How are they branding themselves? Where you could kind of study everybody else to customize a way for your business. Mm-hmm. Now that would be my question. Do you know what they're doing? Are they selling the same things you are selling? What are they not selling that you can start selling?
All right. Question.
Diana?
And Tonie, I was going to say that. You took that from me, but that's okay.
No,
because I think it's important. You need to know what your competitors are doing. What voids are they missing, and how can I fill those voids? Also, who am I targeting? Who is my main goal? What is my main objective on being on social media? Who am I trying to target? Am I trying to get new clients? Am I trying to get a record deal? Am I trying to get, what am I trying to get out of this? Am I just trying to am I trying to be an influencer? What are you trying to do through social media? So whatever that answer is, then leads you to say, these are my competitors. This is what I need to do. And this is going to be my plan for it. But I think, it's very important to know why you're on it and why you're choosing the platform. Because a lot of times, like you said, like on LinkedIn, there might be a platform for your specific, your business. Speaking on full force PR terms, we're a small boutique firm. Before we have so many industry friends, but when you go off on your own, everyone forgets who you are. So for us as individuals, as Kimberlee and Diana, I need to have my own personal, a space, and I need to be known as Diana Zapata and, associated with Full Force PR, yes, but I also try to brand myself a certain way. And Kimberlee does the same. And then, but our Full Force ones, we don't put any pictures of ourselves. It's all our work. And because our target audience is trying to get new clients, we want them to look at it and think as professionally. When they look at it, say, oh, okay, I want what you did. A lot of times they come and they say, oh, see what you did with the videos with them? We want kind of the same thing. But obviously, for us. So that's what we want. And I think you have to answer that question individually. What is your main goal? So,
and I think actually you in what you are saying are actually two questions. The first is, what are your goals? What are you here to accomplish? Right? Mm-hmm. I want to be an influencer. I want to sell a product, whatever the answer to that question is. And then secondly, you mentioned, who's your audience? Who is buying that thing that you are selling, whatever that is. If it's influence, who are you trying to influence? You know what I mean? If you're selling something, who's buying it? So I just wanted to make sure that people caught that was actually a two-part question.
And what I got out of that, too, Diana, in your response to that question is that you're also saying that a lot of what you're doing is maybe the service is similar, but the actual attention to the client is very different. So that kind of takes out the idea of that it being cookie cutter or something that can be easily replicated, because each individual person is different. And so it's not necessarily, I want the exact same thing, but you want the service, but going into knowing who their target audience is where you actually find that nugget, and you may change some things up, So I just wanted to make that distinction, because a lot of people are, trying to juggle this social media beast, and they tend to think that is very cookie cutter, and they don't understand the amount of time and the detail that it takes to develop that strategy to hit nail on your target audience. And I wanted to roll into really learning of some tools. If we had an opportunity, Michele or Diana, to share with our viewers what some of the tools are out there that really gives you an upper hand and leveraging some of your opportunities to tap into your audience like no one else before. What are some of the maybe top 2 or 3 tools that you can offer to some of our viewers?
Well, one of the tools that I can offer as far as for Instagram, because I know that's a big problem for people. I mean, they do it off of their phone, but when you're trying to get your message out, put all those hashtags, and you're trying to add the content, and you want to make sure everybody is seeing this content, it can get very cumbersome sometimes. Mm-hmm. So one of the tools is OnlyPult. It's spelled ONLYPULT.com.
Okay.
And basically, you can schedule your Instagram messages. You can add all of your hashtags that you want to use, and you can set it up for the month if you want, pretty much. And you're getting your Instagram followers to see your brand. Now, one thing I want to say before I go into the next tool is the technique. I mean, what is your technique using for Twitter? What is your technique for Facebook? What is your technique for Snapchat? What is your technique for YouTube? All of these tools are here for a reason. So you have to know which tool is best for your brand. And if you don't even know that and don't even have a technique, you might as well stop being on social media and just be social and not use it for a business purpose. But 2 other tools that I want to talk about is Buffer. I love Buffer. Buffer, it allows you to customize text graphics where, nowadays people have graphics and then they're putting their custom text like, "Hi, my name is Michele McClammy, and this is my business." So pretty much whatever you want to add there, it's there. That tool is there for you. And you can schedule your messages anytime you want, from graphics to videos to anything. And it's very user-friendly. They have a lot of blog information. And we didn't even talk about blogging, and I see we're running out of time. But the last tool that I wanted to mention is that on Facebook itself, you can publish your posts. You want to get great content. One thing that I know that I do very, very well is that I have fresh content. I put out what the client wants. I find content that's relevant to what the client, how they want to brand themselves. Then I throw in something that's very clever. And that helps with building your brand, because they're saying that this person is very interesting. They know what they know who they're trying to target. They're trying to tell me a story and they're informative. Guess what? That's how your followers are going to keep following you, and you're going to get them organically. You don't have to buy them. And I'm going to drop the mic right there.
Oh, okay. Cool. So Diana, as we start to wind down, please give us some of your top 1 to 2 tools that you recommend for people in this social media industry.
I'm going to speak for myself because I handle our Snapchat and our Instagram, and Kimberlee handles Twitter. So I believe Kimberlee uses Hootsuite.
Okay.
But me personally, I use Planoly, and I love it because I'm such a visual person that I need to see how the Instagram is evolving, because I feel like it's a storyboard telling your story. So I could see all the pictures and how they're going to be laid out. Like I said, Kimberlee will take pictures. If she's traveling, I'd be like, "Hey, Kimberlee, we need these type of pictures." She'll take them. We'll upload it on our Dropbox and Box. And when it's that appropriate time, I'll upload it, and so on and so forth. But Planoly is really good also because our friend Brandy started it, and she's a small business owner. And she has amounted now about 13,000 followers organically on Instagram. Nice. She has a jewelry line, and she gives really, really good tips on how to take pictures, how to use hashtags, and how to curate your account. And she always does new blog posts with different influencers and what they're looking for, whether you're a brand, whether you're a food blogger, a travel blogger, how you should put your pictures up, and then what apps you should use to make your pictures look better. What filters are really, there's certain filters that connect more with people and people like them more. There's one filter on Instagram, I forget which one it is, but that gets the most likes. So it's like, if you're going to use a filter, you would want to use that filter. She created advice on her blog, and I'm just a visual person, so I love that one.
Okay, beautiful. And right before we move into our closing part, I do want to just let everybody to know that although these tools are available, it's very important for you to always remain authentic and not schedule out too much, because case in point, if there are things that happen in the world on a daily basis that kind of shifts things. So you don't want to go in posting something that's relevant to something that you scheduled 2 weeks ago. Meanwhile, everyone else is kind of really posting things about something that just impacted our world or our lives and different things. So that kind of lets people know that you are not that machine and you're keeping that engagement.
And would you please spell out Planoly? We have a question on how I can find and download that app.
Yeah, so it's www.planoly.com.
Okay, that's PLAN as in Nancy, OLY.com. Excellent. So it's a tool plus more, lots of learning involved there around what's trending and how to use Instagram to the best of your ability.
Right.
Excellent, excellent. So are there any closing thoughts or closing questions that anyone has or would like to make from Michele or Tamara or Diana? Because we are at that hour where we want to wrap it up and prepare for our next meeting.
I think, going off on what Tamara said, to always be authentic and keep true to yourself. People can read past through Instagram. Don't post pictures of that are not relevant to what you're trying to, the message you're trying to send. You know, that's my biggest pet peeve, along with putting up pictures that are really blurry. We're in 2016. Everyone's phones have really good cameras. So if your picture looks blurry, don't put it up. And there's a lot of tools that you can fix the picture. Make sure that you look at the picture and looks representative of what you want people to look at, because that really kind of, you know. And yeah, you can follow us on our Instagram at Full Force PR.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, my closing thoughts are, have patience. Don't be overzealous where you're desperate. Because when people see that, they're not interested, because you know why? You're overkill. People like content. They like to see what's going on, and they like to know what is the new and most innovative thing that's out there. And if they're following you, they want to stay in touch with you. Don't overkill what you're trying to present. Do it within moderation. Let them miss you for a minute and say, hey, you still there? What's going on? You know, that's going to help build sales. That's going to build that following. That's going to grow your business.
And I want to add that, again, we're playing in this social media space because we're trying to build a following. We want to be the Pied Piper of our community, of those people that are interested in us. So I would say always make sure you're leading people back to a place on your website or wherever where you can capture their information. Because remember, on social media, you don't have anybody's email address. You don't have any kind of demographic information about who they are. So be the Pied Piper of your community and bring that following to a place where you can capture their information so that you can enroll them into your messaging on an ongoing basis, where you can provide offers, where you can help bring them to the point where they are paying customers. Because at the end of the day, that is the game that we are playing, right? So I just want to thank you again for hanging out with us at the Newark Business Hub. And I want to thank my guests, Diana Zapata of Full Force PR. And of course, you can find her on Instagram, obviously, right?
Yes.
And Antonia McClammy of ISMM Social Media. You can find her on Facebook and on Twitter and everywhere else that there's social media.
LinkedIn.
And of course, my lovely co-host, Tamara Fleming, T. Anita F. on Twitter.
Tamara A. Fleming on Twitter.
Well, you show up as a T. Anita F. on
Yeah,
Blab.
yeah, and yeah, that's another thing too on changing your name. But just to piggyback really quick, what Kimberlee talked about was that lead magnet, like that where we have our social media stratosphere, but that lead magnet is where we're making that connection with our audience to say, hey, let's take it to the next level. It's been really amazing. Time went by super fast. I think that there's still opportunities for more in-depth understanding of all of these social media outlets that we have. We ask that you please stay engaged with us and stay informed with our next scheduled lineups that they happen twice monthly. And it's always great, informative information. We're here to help you take your business to the next level. And if you can learn by any of the guests that we bring to the table, they will be providing you with information that can save you some headaches. So listen to our guests, look at what we're talking about and what we're doing, because in the long run, it will save you headaches and also help you bring more money to the table after it's all said and done.
So what we're here to do is elevate you. Now, this Blab is our lead magnet. We want you to join our community of creative entrepreneurs. And you can do that by going to our website, which is the NewarkBusinessHub.com. That's NewarkBusinessHub.com, and join our mailing list. That is how you will find out about what's going on with the Newark Business Hub, how you can come to events that we're hosting, how you can come to other educational series that we have. That is how you get free resources from the Newark Business Hub. Go to our website, join our mailing list today. If you were already on our mailing list, you would know that we have a very special event coming up on May the 10th. And that is Dissecting the Deal. On May the 10th, we are hosting Dissecting the Deal featuring Tanjay Bakang, who is the CEO of AfroStream, which is a mobile application where you can get the best in African American, African, and Caribbean movies all in one place. So you can think about it like the Netflix for Black movies from all over the world. He will be here talking about how he dissected that deal, making deals with television and movie houses from all over the world and getting those licenses. So that is May the 10th, and it's a very limited audience. It's a free event at Diamonds in the Rough on May the 10th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And there are limited seats at Diamonds in the Rough. If any of you have been there, you know this is not a huge auditorium. What we're talking about is a very intimate conversation with a very successful entrepreneur. He is coming in from France, okay? From France, visiting us in Newark at Diamonds in the Rough. So this is your opportunity to be up close and personal with success. And he's going to lay out for you how to do it yourself, how to think beyond your borders, how to get out of your comfort zone, how to make big deals. So if you're interested in the next Dissecting the Deal, I think you better go to our Facebook page right now and RSVP, because space is limited. And I heard there might be some free food involved, okay? And so, folks are going to be snapping up those tickets right quick to be at Diamonds in the Rough on May the 10th from 6 to 8 p.m. There's a great lecture. There'll be some complimentary food, and the event is free. So I look forward to seeing you all there. Join our mailing list. Follow us on social media. Follow our guests because they are dedicated to your success. So make sure you follow all of us on Twitter, on our Facebooks, and we look forward to seeing you at the top. Until the next time, thank you. This is the Let's Grow Power Hour, Newark Business Hub, Rutgers Business School, Center for Urban Entrepreneurship, and we're out.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.